This is Michael Truth. Welcome to my pen tool series. At the end of this video, you'll know how to remove the background using the pen tool, create flyers and logos. Before we get to that, I'll teach you how to create and edit shapes. But first, let me give you a solid foundation so that you master the pen tool. We are in a CorelDraw. I have some shapes here that I'd like to take you through. This illustration here, where I just click right now, shows the start of our node. So this is the start node and it goes all the way here to end node, but between the start node and the end node we will see a line. So that is the path connecting the start node and the end node. So this is your path. The path could either be a line or it could be curve. Okay, so moving down here you will see this curve all the way, and still we have the start node. Then we go all the way here to the end node. End node actually indicates direction of the path, but if you look at this curve or this shape, it's quite complicated than just the line we have here. When I click here, you could see that we kind of have some arrows and we have all other nodes created here, because each of these nodes is indicating the direction the curve or our path moves next. Okay, so here we see a node here going kind of upward, then all of a sudden we have curve dropping down, then we have another node, then another one, then another one, all the way to our end node. So this is our path. It is this part that is connecting our start node to the end one. So this is the control handle. You could see this is the handle all throughout from here to here. So this is the control handle, and here is your control point. Now I could use my control point to adjust my path. I'm going to just click on the control point and kind of adjust this to change the direction of my path and reshape my object. All right, so I could do this and I'm kind of reshaping. So Control Z, I'm doing. Now I could also grab this node, just move it up, and I just change my shape, or I could just move it down and just alter my shape. Let's go ahead and start seeing this in demonstration that will help us better understand how to use the pen tool. I have created some pages here already. If you don't know how to create page in CorelDraw, you can click on the plus sign and just create a new one. Well, I'm going to remove this, and I have also named my pages. So to name your pages, just click on the caret symbol and you could see rename, and just rename your page. Initially, if you open your CorelDraw, you are going to see something like this. The pen tool shows first, so you have to click to drop down and locate your pen tool. We are going to draw a line. To draw a line, I have to click first to have my node created. That is the start node. Then you could see the preview, the pen tool preview, and that is it. I'm going to click again to create the end node. To be able to complete my line, I'm going to press the escape key on the keyboard, and that is it. Then I'm going to create another line. So I'm going to click, and this time I'm going to hold my shift key down on the keyboard, and while I move my mouse pointer to the next location, you could see the pen tool preview. Click again, and that is it. Press my escape key to complete my line. If you look carefully, you realize that this line and the other one, a little bit difference between them. This line is kind of rough, while this is very straight. You can also do this. You click and move your mouse pointer to the next place and carefully adjust the pen tool. Then you could have your straight line. That is sometimes not so easy to get. You have to try a couple of times. And if you look, line in straight, at this time I'm going to press my spacebar to complete my line. And if you look at this line and the other one, you realize that they are all the same. They are constrained, and that is it. So this is how to draw a constrained line, and this is the other way to draw a freehand line in CorelDraw. Let's start learning how to do something with curve. I'm going to select my pen tool here by clicking, and to draw a curve, I'm going to click and move my mouse pointer all the way here. I'm going to hold down the mouse button holding it down. Then I'm going to drag, and there I'm drawing a curve. I can release my mouse button right now, and just you can see I have drawn a curve. I'm going to press the space bar on the keyboard to complete my curve. So I'm going to select my tool, and I want to take you down before we continue drawing to the status bar, and you could see something. I click plus drag to create curves. Click first node to close the path. Hold Control Shift Alt for additional options. So that's a very useful information that CorelDraw is giving us on the status bar. That is what we just did. So I click and drag, but before you can drag, you have to hold down your mouse button. That's it. So I've just drawn another curve. Let's move on now that we know how to draw this simple curve. Build on it. The next thing we want to do is to draw a rectangle. So I click to create my first node, and I'm moving my mouse pointer all the way somewhere here. I'm holding the shift key down because I want to have a straight line. Then I click again. I'm not taking my hand off the shift key. I keep on clicking and moving here. I don't know if I'm going to get the edge, and clicking, bringing you back to the status bar. Click first node to close the path. That's exactly what we are going to do. What is the first node? We talk about it over. The first node is the start node, so we are going to click on the start node now, and there we go. We've just drawn a rectangle. Is quite bad, but well, that's how you draw a rectangle using the pen tool. Let's move on. I want us to have a hands-on approach on drawing curves, because you have to master curve, how to draw the Bezier curve if you are using the pen tool, because you'll be using it throughout in your journey as a graphic designer. Okay, so let's do something right now. We are going to draw a rectangle, but this is going to be a round edge rectangle. Let's start. Click, and I'm going to move my mouse pointer all the way here, holding down my shift key, and I'm going to click again. Now I want to draw a curve, so I'm going to slant it here all the way, slant it upward. I think this will be good. Then I'm holding my mouse button down, and I'm going to click, then I drag until it's all looking good. So this time I want my control handle to be straight. If you could see, my control handle is straight. Now I'm going to leave it. That's all good. I mean, leaving my mouse pointer button, then I'm moving all the way around. That's good for me. Holding the shift key down. Now I'm going to release it and click click again. Then I'm going to create another curve. Enter the Bezier mode. If you're following right now, you'll notice, looking on your status bar, there is information here, drawing in Bezier mode. Well, I just lost it, but let me get back here and see if we could be good. Yeah, we're good. So making sure that our control handle is all straight, I can release this, and I think we are good. We just have our second curve. So I'm going to click, holding the mouse button down. Then I'm going to make sure that my control handle is straight and release. That's it. Bingo. So I move again and make sure it's straight, and I kind of like gauge it. That is good. And I'm going to click on the first node or the start node and drag all the way here. Make sure it's straight. I don't know if I'm going to get it right, but boom, wow. Beautiful, right? I think this one is better than the rectangle we drew from the beginning. Let's learn how to draw a triangle. So I'm going to click to create my first node. I'm holding down the shift key to make it straight, and let's go quickly. So that is it. We have learned how to create a couple of shapes, but what about editing these shapes? So let's talk about editing these shapes. I want to edit this particular line. What do I do? I'm just going to kind of move here to the toolbox and click on the shape tool. I could press the F10 to do that. Then I'm going to click the end of the node, that is the end node. This is a straight line already, so I want to convert it to curve. I click on it. Then you can notice that I have my handle here and here, so I can move this up by clicking on the control point, move it all the way here. Then I can also grab my control handle control point and drag and deselect by clicking on the pick tool, and that's it. I have just turned all this smooth line into a curve. Okay, beautiful curve. And if I want this back to my line, I could double click also to enter the shape tool or to select the shape tool. Click here and I just go to straight line, click, and there we are back. We have our straight line. As well, I could also make this have a corner radius. So let's say we want to have a corner radius for this shape, the rectangle shape. I'm going to select my shape tool, then I'm going to double click here and double click here, then I'm going to double click here using eye to gauge, double click here. Now I'm going to do some adjustment here, so I wouldn't do that yet. I'm going to click here and convert to curve, then I'll double click on this node to remove it, and I could also use the minus sign here, which is red him. Then this has become a curve. I click on this and convert it to curve, and the minus sign minus, and there we go, we have our curve here. Let me deselect by pressing the space bar, and we have curve here. But if you notice, when we're drawing our rectangle, it wasn't kind of straight, so let me do that adjustment. I'm going to shift F2 to make it bigger, that I can be able to work on it. I'm going to just click this node and kind of drag it to the left a little bit, and I think this is better than before. If you look at this rounded edge rectangle, you notice that the line is kind of thin, and you have a black line. Everything we have drawn with a pen tool, you have all kind of black lines showing up there. So the black line you are seeing is what we call the outline. So the outline also has settings. Once I click on this shape, you realize that I have all of these options here, and the one we are going to use today is outline width. That's what we are going to use. Now it is 0.5 point. We can go ahead and drop down this and change it to something like, let me make it obvious for you to see 8. That's too big. But as you get it, I can just even make it bigger and bigger, and I can even type here to give a custom number. But let's make it 3, make it a little bit beautiful. That's perfect. I like this rectangle. So that's it. Now if you notice, inside of our rectangle is white, so that is the fill. We have the outline and we have the fill. The fill is transparent. That is why it is taking the color of the background. Our drawing page is white, so it is taking the color of the background. Now if you, I want you to, let me make you understand this. So I'm going to just cover this and turn this color here, and I'm going to make this go back. I'll teach you how to do that in later videos, and you could see that the background is actually blue now while the outline is black. Let me delete that. So to tell you, this is transparent, so it's taking the color, picking any color that comes below it or at the back of it. That is the color it's picking because it's transparent. So we can also give it a color. What do we do to give it a color? I select my shape and I move to the color palette, and I'm going to give my fill blue. So I'll just click, and there we go, we have a blue fill for our rectangle, and the outline is what? Black. But we can also change the outline color just like the fill color. All I'll have to do is click on the shape. So let me give it an obvious color, which is going to be red, and I'll have to right click and on the color palette, and there we go, we have just changed the outline color. Let's start here and create a very simple logo. Alt P, click to draw the start node. Move the mouse pointer all the way here. My pen tool is here. I don't have to make it straight. Click, moving back to the start node to close my shape. Click, holding the mouse button down, I'm going to drag and create create a shape like this. Move it all the way to the left, and I'm holding down the mouse button. Then whilst I reach my destination, I'm going to right click, still holding the mouse button down, right click, and there I have a duplicate. Okay, this has parted so much from this, so let's make it get closer a bit, and that is good. Alt P to get my pen tool. Click on the start node to close. We have learned how to color, so let's just find some color for it. Blue will be okay for me, and let me use green for this. Green, and there we go. Beautiful, right? So we have our logo here. You can go ahead to change outline color to something like green as well, and this one green, and this one blue. I'm right clicking to do that, and that's it. Beautiful, right? Let's move on and try to see if we can create a flyer, and it's going to be a very simple flyer as well. Select my pen, click here, holding down this. As you see a straight line, you already know what I'm doing. Holding down the mouse button, I want to create a curve and move it all the way here, and close my shape by clicking on the start node and give it some color. I just press my space bar to deselect this tool. This will do. Now I want to remove the outline by right clicking on none, a color none. There we go. And I'm going to do the same thing here, right clicking color none. And oh, this is looking beautiful. I'm just kind of creating this. I don't really know what I'm doing. So let's give it a name like beginners enter this guide. Give it a color white. So much time is going. This is really an in-depth tutorial. I'm going to pick the pen tool again, and let me do something here. Create a very simple rectangle here. I don't know, and just get this and give it some color like I don't know. Let's say it's blue. Sorry. I'm going to remove the outline, right clicking, and I'm going to F8 to have the text box and say click here and copy paste and change the color to something like this color will be good, magenta, and just go to object and say order and say back, and then I'm going to press there. It's kind of going back, so I'm going to control and the up button. This will be good on the keyboard. So page up, and I'm adjusting by the arrows. We are using the arrows, and that is it. So we just have our fly. Very simple, right? Using the pen tool. All that we have done here, we use the pen tool. You can place an image here and all the things you want to do. And remember to always save your work. Control S, the last thing I want us to do, which you can do with the pen tool, is remove the background with the pen tool. So let's learn how to do that. I already have an object here. So I select my pen tool and I'm going to click here. Now we are going to employ some of the beautiful things we learned there, like creating curves. Now you will see why I wanted you to be drawing the radius corner for and you can always come back and edit this using the shape tool, so don't worry about getting it perfect. And I'm going to move it up. I just hold down my Alt key and I'm pressing the up arrow to be able to do this. Click here and I drag, and this is where we are, and click here and move it all the way here. Now I'm going to just okay, make it a little bit bigger, Control plus on the keyboard, and make it draw some curves here, and make it move all the way here, and holding down and here, there and here. So I got you, baby. Oh, I lose it, so I'm gonna click again, go all the way here. Now my Alt key, then here, and reduce the zoom a bit. I can see full of it. That's okay for me. But I think this is quite okay. Just adjust a bit and zoom out. I think that will be okay. Click and drag, because there's a curve here, and drag again to get a curve. This is not going to be perfect because of time, but it's just for demonstration purpose. Click and